Top of the day to you.
Day
It is. That's right.
And you know what? That kind of goes with what we're talking about today, since we do have people who watch us from Australia and some people watch us later globally around the world. Instead of saying good morning, you really problem solved that.
I
said
sure
top
did.
of the day.
Exactly.
Do you see where we're going with it here, people?
Today is all problem solving, and I love that because my hubby has always said, he's a contractor. There is never a problem. There is only a solution. So you see, mentally, that is how you have to adjust your thinking, because there isn't a problem.
Yep.
Only solution. So how do you come up with them?
And I know sometimes it feels like when you've got a problem, but there isn't a solution, it may not be the ideal solution, but there's still a solution nonetheless. It's always there. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is problem solving, because this is one of the programs that we do in our curriculum. And it's called, do you have common sense?
Yeah.
Now, the funny part of that is common sense is that lovely thing that we always say is not so common, right? But the problem is with that is that everybody has a different way to solve a problem. Everybody has a different idea. Everybody has a different skill set. So it's not always that there's a wrong way to do it. Well, sometimes there's.
Right? I was just going to say, I don't know about that, because I do know that we say that often. If they only had common sense, everything would be fine. But they're just, I don't know. And I know they say the same thing about us too. For sure. But at the same time, you think, no, there's some people that exist in this world that there is zero comprehension of common sense. I swear.
And sometimes it's hindsight's that 2020 thing. You think, why didn't we think of that? Yeah. That's so right there in our face. But
all the time.
But sometimes we just don't, because we got so much else going on in this world too.
That's it.
So before we get into anything else, let's go through our regular. Oh, I knew he was going to do it.
Yeah, that's our dog, Laser.
Yeah, cover your ears.
It's my dog.
Yeah,
we're not a couple.
No.
I always say our.
Yeah. Well, okay, Lace, that's good. Did he go? No. Okay. Sorry about your ears, everybody. So again, let's go into our regular stuff here. Yeah,
I'm gonna go get him.
Yeah, go get your dog. And now it becomes her dog. So with this lovely hashtag, to them, Carrie, holy jumping tuna fish, because if you hear something today, maybe it's about problem solving, maybe it's just about life in general, maybe it's about horses, I don't know what it might be, but if it's something that blows your mind, you want to hear more about, throw in that hashtag holy jumping tuna fish, because well, it's a Carrieism and it makes us feel good, and we like the little tuna fishies as well. So please throw that in so we know what we should talk more about.
I haven't seen a holy jumping tuna fish emojicon in weeks. Come on, tribe members, family. Right. We are all life changers. We need to put in the emojicons.
Yes. Is this working?
Live? Is anyone there? Knock, knock, knock. That was funny. See, I'm not the funny one. She's the funny one, but I just thought that was really funny right now. Did you see what I did?
You went knock, knock, knock. Is anybody there?
Yeah, like on the screen.
Oh, I do it. You are funny, Carrie. Good job.
I know.
It says this live video has ended.
Well, isn't that lovely?
But I don't think that's true.
Is there anybody out there? Could you tell us? Is anyone watching us?
For you? Are we in your world right now? Oh, it says
there's one. That's you.
Let's see. Well, I'm not there yet.
Oh.
Nothing's even loading.
Well, nobody is here.
Are you there?
Nobody is home.
Is someone out there?
Nobody is home.
Is there anybody out there?
Nobody.
What the Moses is happening here?
I don't know. IT person.
Well, I guess we just keep talking?
I don't know. Is that how it rolls?
I think so. It says there's a couple people there now. I just can't get anything to load on my phone to check. Okay. Well, anywho, I guess we'll just keep on keeping on here.
Oh, yay!
Thank you, Di. Much appreciated.
Yes.
Okay. Whew. Okay, we are live after all. So in that case, share, because we'd like to have more people join us.
We really would. It's pretty lonely over here.
Sometimes when you're talking to the screen and you don't see that anybody's there, it's kind of like, who are we? It's if a tree falls in the woods, if nobody's there to hear it, kind of
right.
Thing. Yeah, that's what this feels like.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah. And I go for the Maytag repairman. Because anyone who's my age, they get it.
Yeah, they get it.
They get it.
Yeah. So share this out, because sharing is, of course, caring as well, because we love to be able to help other people with different things that they're working on in their life, and maybe problem solving And how we can do that in a little bit better is something that somebody needs to hear today.
Darn tootin' gluten.
The next piece is that other hashtag that we are life changers. So that includes you, that includes us, that includes our ponies, that includes our puppies. It does not matter. Everybody around the world has the opportunity to change a life for the good every single day that we live and breathe. And so that's always something to remember as well.
And that always, to me, includes kindness.
Yes.
Because that's how we can be life changers. We do not need to be angry little humans. We need to be kind. Let's move forward. We all struggle. We all have problems that, of course, solutions exist within them. So, hey, humans, let's be on the same page.
Yeah.
Because niceness is the only way we can do it. Niceness? Is there such a word as niceness?
There is now, even if there wasn't.
Okay.
But it's important to realize too, even with problem solving, having that kindness piece and that you're not alone in it is a good thing too. You don't have to solve all your world problems by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
buddy.
I like that.
And of course, if you were catching this on replay, throw in that replay for us as well so we can come back and say hi to you. All right. So look what I did here.
I know. Well, you did that last week.
Oh, okay. Well, good for me then. I don't even remember. I'm trying to block this bag behind my head, but it's not working. It's just not comfortable. So you guys
a
get
pretty
to see the
bag.
bag. So my name is Carolyn Charles. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing, as well as an instructor and facilitator for the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning, Inc.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Fulmick, the founder and master instructor of the Equine Connection, helping people globally around the world do what it is that we do, and that is having a job that is unbelievable, the best job in the world, which we don't even consider a job.
No.
Because we get to work with horses every day, and we get to make a living by working with horses. And you know that old adage or that old saying that, oh, they're just hay burners. There's no way you can make a living with horses. Well, those humans are all wrong. Because of course you can, when you understand the power of how that horse teaches and actually understands the welfare of the horse that comes first, especially in our certification. We do not use horses here. We literally work with them to literally allow them to teach the human beings, our clients, who come in to be able to what? Be empowered and move forward in their own lives. So it truly is one of the most rewarding, businesses in the world. I still, to this day, and that's been since, 2008 when it originally created, but I still wake up and I feel so blessed. I smell the arena, I smell the horses, and I'm like, I cannot believe I get to do this. Because how many people in the world get to do what they really, really, really love and then have purpose to go along with it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree, Charles?
It's pretty sweet, I have to say, all in all. And it's that love what you do and you never work a day in your life.
Exactamentos. And by cracky, we've done it.
Yeah. There is lots of work, though.
Oh, my goodness.
It did not come for free, people.
And here's the thing. I think that's where sometimes a lot of people, again, this is actually part of problem solving, because you always have to find the solution to what the problem is. Why aren't you making money in your business? Because that is a huge component to how we run businesses, being an entrepreneur, being self-employed. How do you literally do it? Well, I can tell you the one thing is you always have to move. So that means you have to have a baby step of action every day. And I am only saying a baby step. Sometimes people get so overwhelmed with everything that needs to be done, and then you end up doing nothing because it's too much. So part of that solution is really breaking it down again. If you do one thing daily, which is a baby step towards your business, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's going to take you to a place that you cannot even dream of. And I'm a goal setter. I have big, huge dreams. And I have to tell you, in this business, it has surpassed anything. I couldn't have even imagined what this was going to be. I wrote down all my stuff, but it's bigger. It's better than humanly even possible than this brain could figure out. So it really is part of that piece. Again, understanding how do we problem solve? And I don't know, even if there is my daughters, they're all adults now, but they'll call sometimes and they'll say, I was turned down from the bank, and they're crying and they're sad. So what's the solution to it?
Now what?
Go somewhere else, because I can guarantee you there is always a solution. And in part of that solution is actually works out way better for your life in the long run, even though like that job you don't get.
Yep.
You know, you have no idea what that future would have been like with the job. You think you might know, but you know, sometimes when you get those no's, I think it's a blessing in disguise.
True.
Because you really don't know. We don't have that crystal ball to know what the heck's going to go on.
Even ending up, like, think about where we've ended up. Like on my side of things, all of the stuff that led up to it was craptastic stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was not a good time of even how I ended up at the Egg Society and everything else like that. But if I had looked at all of those pieces and not, again, looked at that open window, that could be something a little bit different for me, I wouldn't end up in this beautiful, lovely, purposeful career that I'm in today.
Yeah.
So sometimes all of those kick in the pants are a good kick in the pants instead of a bad one, even though it feels bad at the time. So with problem solving, the one thing that we always need to consider is what's the very first step of problem solving? And that is always to figure out what the actual problem is. And I know that sounds super simple. It sounds like common sense, but more often than not, especially in EAL, we see people trying to solve problems that don't exist.
They created more problems to the situation.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying. Like, it's amazing what humans do because we have the brain to be able to do it.
Overthink.
It's kind of detrimental at times. It's so beautiful in other ways, but sometimes very detrimental when you're problem solving.
Yeah, it can be. And what we see in EAL is people create a lot of rules for themselves that were never put in place. And it's funny because the last one was that a rule? Well, yeah. Who said? Me? Okay. Good. So a little bit different there then. So we always want to make sure that when we are doing problem solving, we're figuring out what is the actual problem that we're handling in the first place. And if you can't define that, you're not going to be able to actually solve it because you don't even know what the problem is yet.
That actually comes into even, you know, how many people want to live their dream, want to own their own businesses, but they don't do it because what's the number one thing that stops people? Money. So here's money being a problem. And that's the saddest piece with money. Because to me, money, not to me, to many human beings around the globe, it's just not my little thought, is money is replaceable. Like, it's so cool how money works. It's not like the end all and be all. Like sometimes people think, if I had this money, I could do this, this, and this. It's not true. We know many, many rich people who are not in a very happy place.
People think money is a solution.
And it's not the solution.
It can actually be creation for more problems a lot of the time as well.
Exactly. So if you know it's the money that's holding you back and you're considering that a problem, what's the solution to that piece? Because you see, there's so many different ways to be able to start and begin your own business, to move forward before you die. Because to me, that is part of the solution, is we're all going to die. We as human beings are all going to die. Every living thing that exists on earth is going to die. Now, I'm not saying this to be morbid by any means.
It's true.
But it is true, and it helps me live personally every day. And my family got really used to the way I speak because I used to travel tons and tons ever since they've been wee little babies, because I've been an entrepreneur all my life. And before I traveled, we always had a very special day and night together because I always told my girls, because I could die. So let's make sure, part of, to me, the solution is let's be together, because then there's not a problem. Like we were together. I mean, they would have been sad, I hope.
I would imagine.
But I wouldn't have been sad because I would be dead. So you see, it wouldn't matter to me.
Solution right there.
Right. There's so many ways of looking at that.
But that really is like figuring out how you're going to solve the problem. That's the next piece of problem solving, is that brainstorming piece, right? And sometimes you come up with your own ways of doing things, like having your nice pre-death dinner or whatever it may be. But sometimes you don't know the answer. You don't know how you're going to solve this problem. So you have to do that reaching out. You got to brainstorm with other people, or even with yourself, weighing out the pros and cons. What is it going to look like if I go this way? What's it going to look like if I go that way? But taking the time to brainstorm rather than just, jumping into something without really understanding if the problem is going to be solved or how it's going to help you in the long run. You need the brainstorming time to put into it to actually figure out what it is that you're going to do.
That's so valuable. And being in this tribe together, being all life changers together, I love that, because brainstorming is one of the biggest ways to communicate with other living beings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so lovely because you're not alone. And I think sometimes when the problem does exist, the solutions are, just like you said, that brainstorming. I remember when my mom passed away, it was June 1st, 2011. My mom passed away, but my horse passed away that morning before my mom passed away. Then in this 8-week period, I had 3 more horses die. And then in 6 months, I had another horse die. So it was, I call 2011 a hell of a year. And I remember I was feeling I love life. So no matter what, I still loved life, but I didn't like people and I didn't want to be around people. So that was a problem. But what I did, because I was then starting to feel really, I guess, sorry for myself, because so many deaths happened and my heart hurt so bad, I actually brainstormed out to people who I knew very well to more or less say, why is this happening to me?
So people
Like,
even
what's
with
the
similar
problem?
experiences, right? Like you connected more with people
who lost their mom or a
yeah,
parent.
who could feel what you felt, because coming to me about it when I hadn't gone through that, you may not have been as open to different ideas.
I wasn't.
Yeah, okay. She wasn't open to other ideas from other people. But having people that you actually like could connect with in a way, that's finding, I guess, your tribe, your people.
And that's it.
And that's who you need for that moment, right?
Exactly. And then through brainstorming and sending out an email to the people who knew my story and what was happening in my life, the solutions that came back, that changed my life. Like for that degree, because I was getting so deep into the problem of, why am I losing so many
it hurts so much
living beings that I love so much? Like, why me is what I kept saying. And then when they gave me those solutions back, it was right in front of me. Like I have all the love and around me to be able to carry me forward.
Mm-hmm.
Loss, it never goes away. I don't care what people say over time it gets easier. No, I 100% disagree with that. 100%. I do believe the loss is always here. The loss you always feel every day you live and breathe. It's just somehow you're managing to move forward and you bring that loss with you.
Yeah.
Which is still making myself a better, stronger person. And I'm sure many of you, it's that same idea because it stays. I don't know how.
Well, it's just like
you
the
can
love,
say
though.
that it lessens. It doesn't lessen.
No, but it's just like the love you have for someone.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't go away.
No.
We just find ways
it never goes away
to live with those things.
That's
and
right.
To work our life in a different way too. And that's not just people passing, that's life changes. That's things.
Divorce it. It's everything.
So
losing
much,
jobs,
right? Yeah.
being locked down.
Things you have to grieve in life.
Yeah.
And there is grief in life. And that's part of problem solving, is finding those groups of people that you can problem solve with, and not the ones who are just going to tell you what to do and you do it. That's not you problem solving. You kind of have to be okay with your own pieces in life and figuring out what's actually right for you and being authentic to that, and you get the input from people, but get it from the people that you actually want to know what they think. Don't ask the people that you don't want to know.
Oh,
yeah. It's not a good idea.
That's open mouth and into her foot or something like that.
I was like, where's she going with this?
Where am I going with that? Yeah, that can be
and Mike's
dangerous.
on too. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
So it's, what was I going to just say?
The second thing?
That was the brainstorming.
Oh, so the third thing?
The third thing is actually coming up with some ideas, right? Of how are you actually going to solve the problem? What are the plan? And then picking one. So you can only have one way that you're going to move forward with it. If you try it in 6 different ways all at the same time, it's not necessarily going to work properly, right? It'll kind of go off the rails a little bit, because then again, you're overloading yourself with different ways of doing things. So pick the idea that you think is going to work. And then the last piece is very important. The action. You must do something in order for it to be solved. If you just sit there in the idea of doing something, it doesn't work. And somebody brought up to me, it's like weight loss, right? So how many people sit around and said, oh, I'm going to go on this diet. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And they never do it. And they're like, oh, I'm still so fat.
That's true.
What?
That's true. Well, there is a reason.
Yep. Because
no action.
isn't there.
Transpired.
Starting with a business. Oh, I really want this to go. I'm going to find clients. I'm going to do it. I got to go out and I got to send out flyers. I got to go talk to people. No clients because you didn't do it. You got to actually take the action in solving the problem before anything's going to change.
And we are huge because, again, we're huge in energy because energy exists. We have been taught that since we were in school, like MC, what is it? MC squared. Yeah, even I'd say like there's so many amazing things that we learned younger that maybe somehow we kind of let them dissipate. And then of course we get older, we get more into that research and all those things that we fall back on. And if we're thinking even with energy, and I know there's is it called secrets? There's another thing, not Think and Grow Rich, but where, mentally you always have to, it is, the secret.
Yeah.
Mentally you're always visualizing and seeing things and putting it out there 100%. You have to do that because it connects through those energy pieces. But however, you can't sit there and I am so successful and I make $100,000 and I'm going to work with my horses and it will happen. No, you still have to have that energy to actually move, because if you do the action and everything that you're wanting, that's when things start connecting in your path. But you literally have to move. You have to do it, and you have to do the things you don't want to do so that you don't have to do them anymore when you get there.
It's like that joke, and I know I've told this joke before, but I'm going to do it again. Where this guy's sitting there and he's praying to God. He says, God, let me win the lottery. Please, God, let me win the lottery. Weeks pass. He hasn't won the lottery yet. So he starts praying again. God, please, please let me win the lottery. I really need the lottery. I need to win the lottery. Months go by and he just keeps praying and praying and praying. And finally he's praying one night and this light shines down from above and there's God. He says, God, let me win the lottery. He says, for heaven's sakes, buy a ticket. Because without the action, you cannot do it. So you have to remember the action piece is the most integral part of problem solving.
Speaking of this is kind of interesting as well, because sometimes, again, in that problem, we're not seeing the solutions that exist. So going with your God thing, I remember this story, which I'm not good at storytelling. I'm sorry, people. She is, I is not. So this is not a joke though. But it had
just to preface, this isn't gonna be funny.
And I think it was a Reba McEntire song. I forget exactly where it came from, but what it was this man wanted Jesus to come to his place for supper. So as he's preparing supper, someone of course knocks on the door. I don't know, let's say a beggar, and okay, like he felt bad. He's a good person. Obviously, he brings the beggar in and he feeds them. That guy leaves. Then he's still waiting for Jesus to come. And then, I don't know, maybe a prostitute has come to the door. And, oh, man, but I got to help the prostitute. So he brings in the prostitute, feeds her, and it goes on and on. So like this is about 4 or 5 different people who have come to his door, and not one of them was Jesus. But here is then, of course, he's praying at night, like you said, even with that lotto. And God says to him, I came to you as a beggar. I came to you as a prostitute. I came to you as the child. I was there. You just didn't see that I came. And I'm like, that's so powerful in us not seeing that solution.
Yes.
So many times because we get caught up with this problem and we're not seeing things anymore. We're not looking past it.
And if you don't solve the problem the first time, that doesn't mean stop.
No,
right?
That's a different way.
You just got to find a different way to do it, right? And that's something we talk about a lot in business. Is that Think and Grow Rich where he was doing the
gold mine?
Yeah,
I will remember that till the day that I die. Anytime I want to quit,
yes,
that always sticks to my head because in this Think and Grow Rich book, Napoleon Hill, this guy buys this gold mine and he's digging. He's been digging for 10 years. This poor, he has done it all. Well, he is fed up. He's decided he is now going to quit. Well, the guy who purchased this gold mine from the guy 10 feet away was the freaking gold.
Yeah.
So this is where it's like, that always sticks to me. What if?
Right?
What if? Don't.
Yeah.
It's just right there and it's so close.
It doesn't mean the problem can't be solved. It's just maybe there's a different way of doing it, right? There's a different way of looking out. Brainstorming, perseverance,
because that's
and patience,
right.
Those P words are every freaking day.
Those PP words,
they really are. Persevere. Yeah. Patience. But they do go hand in hand, I have to say, with problem solving too. And even in equine assisted learning, when our clients are working with horses, our horses, when they're not doing something that they want them to do, they're teaching, right? They're trying to get an adjustment, a balance, something moving forward in a different way. And even in the course that's problem solving, half the time the problem solving isn't the obstacle. It's how are they working with the horses? How are they working with their team? What is the problems that actually need to be solved before an obstacle even really is coming into things? Because if the horse isn't moving, you got to readjust something in yourself. But that perseverance comes in time and time again. Yeah, it really does, because you have to make little adjustments, and then there's a different adjustment, and then there's a different adjustment, and then once you finally get there and the horse moves, a new adjustment,
right?
Yeah,
it's so true. And I love that piece too with working with horses, because they make it so freaking obvious, because we're caught up as humans and look at the problem in this task, and then we see our horse not coming with us or high or moving away from us. It's so brilliant to be able to step in and say, so what's the number one thing, Carolyn, that the horse needs to feel? Safe. Okay, so there's the solution. So now we know what the solution is. We have to have our horse feel safe. How do we do that? We make a change inside, and it's like, oh my gosh, that was so easy.
Yeah, the solution is not in the task.
Yeah.
It's not in the accomplishment of the task even. Sometimes it's the journey, and getting that task complete is where we can find our most growth, just through problem solving that piece first.
Exactly.
And when you have a big problem, keep in mind there's going to be little problems that are going to have to be solved as you get there too. It's not all just in one foul swoop necessarily. You can't be like, oh, my problem in life is I don't have enough money. What is my one thing that I'm going to do to make all of this happen?
Yeah.
No, there's going to be many little problems and steps in there along the way as well that you have to figure out as you go. When you solve one problem, another one might come into your path. But the more times you solve problems, the more times you brainstorm, the more times you count on others to help, the better skills you get in it, and the better attuned you get into what you need.
Yeah, those tools.
Yes, absolutely.
This is what we need, is we need the toolkit with us at all times. So, and again, if that's in a moment that you can adjust the way that you're thinking about it. And it is a gift that's given to us, but we can live in all of this problem, or we can just adjust it right now, even just by saying, you know what, I'm open. Let me see a solution or something that I haven't even thought of before. I can get it out of yourself so you can still move forward and live in your now. In case what? In case you die, right? Living in your moment,
the old
man.
Dirt nap.
The old dirt nap. That's exactly right.
But yeah, you've got this moment. This is the moment you can change. It's not, you can't change tomorrow until you change something today. So this is the moment that you have to make the adjustments that you need to move forward.
Exactamundos.
Yeah. So problem solving is, and remember, it's not going to be the same way that somebody else solves a problem that you do. And that's okay. It doesn't always have to be the same way. But knowing what you need out of a situation, how you need to solve problems for your life, you need to be able to feel comfortable with moving forward and solving those problems. Those are the keys. Those are the things that you really got to know about yourself.
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet, little sister.
Well, thanks, big sister. So we hope you guys got a little bit out of this today, and can think about how are different ways that you are going to solve problems in your life now. And remember, it's always identifying the problem first, brainstorming with the right people, knowing that they're going to help you to move forward. And then once you have the solution thought up, the action. That's the action right there. You want to make sure you actually solve the problem, because without that, nothing changes, unfortunately.
It's so true. And always, every time you say, oh my gosh, this is such a problem, say, oh, there's no problems. There's only solutions. Have an amazing day.
Full stop.
But now it's not a full stop.
Yeah. It's just funny. That's it. All right. Amazing day, everybody. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.